Well, hello YouTube. We're starting off the day. I don't see how it's saying it's 63 degrees, which I feel just about as happy as can be about that. It's going to be a short-lived 60s. I'm here in East Tennessee. And I was wondering, how cold is too cold to ride? Yesterday I was waking up and riding in the 30s, and in the afternoon it was in the 50s. But today, I left in the 40s and came home in the 60s. That's pretty good in my book. But what keeps you from riding? I know everywhere from all the way on up to Michigan, all the way down to Florida and Louisiana, we've had snow. Snow isn't fun on a motorcycle. To me it isn't. I've seen some people out there, but nah, no thank you. But what keeps you from riding in cold temperatures? What is too cold to ride? Me, myself, personally, if it don't get into the 40s during the day, which given you're going to have a cold ride in and a cold ride home, but what is just too cold? I've rode in 20-degree weather and I did good, all except for my fingertips. That was absolutely brutal in my book. I did not like that. That's when I said, you know what? To be this miserable is just too cold. And also on the way home, you have to have at least one time during the day where you feel pretty good about being on the motorcycle, you know, either where you go to or the way home. Or just, it's not like getting up early and starting off the trip on a cold morning, and then by the afternoon you start shedding layers. No, I'm talking about where it's just cold all day. And it could vary with the type of equipment you have. Some people got the heated gear, which after installing the heated grips on this bike, I sort of got fond of them. I sort of like them. A little bit of chill in the air, that's fine. There we go. Who needs to downshift on a KLR? I think what makes it feel colder today is the fact that we got wind. But in a good note, we don't have snow on the mountains. All our mountains look green, well, brown. Hopefully we'll fix them to start greening up around here. But I was wondering, where do you like to draw the line? You hear people say, did you go riding today? No, it was just too cold to ride. And you're like, well, I was fine on out there. What is too cold? Where do you draw the line? What special preparation do you do to get ready to ride in the cold? Now, I'm talking about, I live about 25 minutes away. It's 11 miles, but it's 11 miles of twisties. and it times out to about 25 minutes. And what happens is, about halfway through the ride, you start thinking, did I make the right choice? Did I make the right decision here? Woulda, coulda, shoulda. So what do you do when you get cold? Do you keep layers inside your bags, or just on a where you can have access to them? Or do you just try to muscle through it? I've gone roughly about 5 miles, and I thought, this is a bad idea. I'm halfway there, halfway home. But guess what? In the evening, it should be warmer, so to speak. I mean, what kind of gear do you wear? Do you put on the... I have, as far as what type of gear to wear that can help you ride longer. Number one, on the Harley, you switch on up from the half nut up to the full face. That keeps the wind off your face. My Kawasaki still hasn't grown a 6th gear yet. But I mean, do you have like heated underlayment? You know, like a heated jacket, heated britches, heated seat, heated hand grips, heated gloves. What's the remedy, and how much did that help you out on these cold days? And some of you people up north, just, I see y'all get out in cold. Yeah, it wasn't bad. No, thank you. So what kind of... I do like riding the KLR in the colder weather, because number one, this is my only bike with a heated set of grips. And also, it keeps me from getting into that. I'll drive faster so I can get there quicker, but I get colder. Little old Honda right there, it looked like. But how much, you know, how cold does it have to be to say it is too cold? In the past couple weeks, it was a combination of cold weather and just basically, for lack of a better term, greasy roads. A lot of debris on it. We've been fortunate. We've had a day of rain in between this mess, and it was a good enough rain to wash off the roads. And I rode in yesterday morning, and where the water puddled up on the roads, we had a little bit of ice, so I was trying to navigate through the dark spots on the road. But by that afternoon, we had most of it dissipated, and with the wind this morning, it dried up a lot of the roadway, so you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about how much you're laying how much you know, how hard you hit a turn, which you ain't gonna hit nothing hard than this. There I am. You can tell I haven't rode my KLR much because I'm driving around the world to the right here. Got to remember turning the signals off again. So yeah, your kneecaps, when it gets cold enough where your kneecaps are just hugging the bike, trying to get some of that engine heat on your legs, and your fingertips numb, yeah, that's uncomfortable. But you know, like on days like today, we're talking about 63 degrees, but yet you can go up in elevation, you can just watch the temperature drop. There's days up in the mountains, you can be at the bottom of the mountain, it's 90 degrees. You can be at the top of the mountain and it's 68 degrees. So we see that quite a bit here. So yes, we always pack a little bit more clothing than I would say most areas do. And it could be something simple, just like a jacket or something. But you always have something to back it up. A lot of times, even in the summertime, you get on the side of a hill where there's a river running down beside the road. Boy, how do you get a lot of shade, and it just freezes you right up. How cold is too cold? Right now, this is a good ride. I got my gear on, I feel comfortable, still feel mobile, got a couple of the layers off. I took my my long britches off. They're that it's a company called Axial. They make wind deflective undergarments, I reckon, long handles. I don't know what you call them. Clothing or underclothing. And what it does is it helps cut the wind off of your hands and off your jacket. If it gets through, it disperses it instead of you just feeling it where you just get cold to the bone. They seem to work pretty well. But if you're in sustained with like 20 degree weather, yeah, you'll be warm, but your extremities, your feet, your hands, I got the liners for the gloves. I'm not wearing them right now because I have grip heaters. I'm just eating up these grip heaters. I just think they're something special right now. I put them on last year, and as soon as I put them on, it ushered in summer, early summer, so I thought, well, it'll be good next year. And yesterday was the first time really trying them, and they do a good job. Man, they make you feel good. I know people who never turn on their heated grips. Oh, I don't like them. Well, maybe they got a heat problem instead of a cold problem. At least I remembered the turn signal that time. I mean, I'd like to have every day that it's 72 degrees and sun shining, but we live in reality. So it seems, when do you get out of your comfortable riding? Like I said, mine is once you stay in the 20s, but I don't know, if it don't get above into the upper 30s to low 40s during the day sometime, yeah, I don't necessarily care for it as much, because it starts to move over from riding into pain. And plus, you just gotta get past the laziness factor, get all your underlayment on, get your coat on, get your neck covered up. Heck, some people put hats on underneath their helmets. You know, you get all dressed up, and by the time you get on the bike, you're sopping wet because you're just about overheated. But and then you wonder why you get cold, because you're sopping wet and freezing cold. So what is the happy medium on this? What is the number one question of the day? When does it become not worth it? When does it become too cold? Where it just doesn't, where it's no longer beneficial. You know, you can throw anything you want to as far as clothing, jackets, until it just becomes too much. At a cold 63, which I'm saying 60s is not a bad temperature. Let me know what you think. What's too cold to ride? What steps do you make in order to get down if you ride in lower temperatures? What do you have to do to get to that point? You know, where you can ride that extra 10 degrees colder. What's the secret to it? What have you come up with? Anyways, I thought I'd throw it on out there, see what you think. See what I think. Too cold is when it's, like I said, somewhere in the 20s. In the morning, it is cold, but I'll go out in the 20s just as long as I'm promised higher temperatures in the evening. So just let me know what you think, and go ahead and like and comment on it. Subscribe to the channel. But number one thing, keep riding and be safe. We'll talk to you later. Bye now. When I grow up, I'm going to have a garage door opener. What's the hardest part about riding a motorcycle? Let me tell you what, people. The hardest part is getting the dang garage door open. What's your favorite part of the ride? Being able to get the garage door open. Ah, yes, I think I'm going to walk you in.